Hi there. My name is Siri Gamage from Armidale, and I represent Northern Railway Defenders Forum. You may have heard about the Northern Railway line between Armidale and Queensland border at a place called Wollongara. And this rail line has been unused for trains over the last 30 odd years. Actually, there is a plan by Armidale Regional Council and Glenin's 7th Council to build what is called a rail trail, a cycle track and a walking track together, a gravel-based cycle track between Armidale and Glenin's, about 103 kilometers in length. So the idea is to tear off the existing rail line and construct the rail trail or cycle track on that space. So this plan has actually divided the community in New England, especially northern part of New England, in towns such as Guyra, Glenin's, and so on, and villages in between. This case highlights one of the deficiencies of New South Wales government's approach to regional rail lines. For example, in Victoria, Victorian government is spending more than $4 billion over 4 years, I think, with Commonwealth funding for what they call regional rail renewal. They are renewing the regional rail lines. But in New South Wales, government is supporting the conversion of regional rail lines, non-operational regional rail lines, to rail trails or cycle tracks. Look at the contrast between Victoria and New South Wales. Why is our government, Liberal National Government, is supporting rail trails rather than making a bigger investment with Commonwealth support to rebuild our rail lines in the regional areas? This is not only, this is the plan for New England region, but it is already happening in the Northern Rivers region. Actually, they are already using heavy vehicles and so on to pull out the rail line and build the rail trail. So the point here is, this particular case, New England rail trail case, as well as Northern Rivers rail trail case, they highlight the approach by the New South Wales government to regional communities and their prosperity. Actually, the two councils here, Armidale Regional Council and Glenin's 7th Council, they argue that once they construct this rail trail, it will attract a significant number of cyclists to ride this rail trail. They are quoting some examples from elsewhere in the state as well as in other states to justify their case. And one problem here, I had a look at the business case prepared by the Halliburton Associates, and later basically reproduce the same ideas in the New England Rail Trail Plan. There are some doubts as to whether the number of estimated visitors will actually come here, because this region has a sort of cold climate in most of the year. And like as in other rail trails in New Zealand and Victoria and Adelaide and so on, there are no significant tourist attractions for visitors to come here. And also there are various problems associated with the potential maintenance cost to the two councils. And the ratepayers can be asked in the future to subsidize the maintenance of this cycle track. But there are other problems as well. While there is this plan for constructing the rail trail called New England Rail Trail, there are two other proposals to use the rail line, one for tourism purposes by the New England Rail Incorporated, and the other by a businessman who is wanting to relocate to Len Gothlin area near Guyra to start his organic food processing business. He's actually willing to invest $4 to $5 million to restore the rail line from between Glengotlin and Tamworth to transport his produce, about 20 containers a week, according to his the information provided by him in one of the public meetings here. So there are three competing proposals for the Northern Railway line as such. And the Armidale Regional Council in particular has a big job to find a kind of a compromise here, to choose which one they are going to support. Obviously, the tourist train can attract more visitors to this region compared to a cycle track. And also, if this businessman can restore the line between Glengotlin and Armidale to transport his produce, then of course that has multiplier effects. I mean, other businesses and other manufacturers, other growers in that region can also utilize this rail line to transport their produce. So in this brief video, I just wanted to highlight these competing proposals for this rail line and the benefits to the region and its future growth of having all these three proposals accepted by the two councils and also the state government. So long as the state government and the two councils are hiding their head in the sand and arguing that, you know, this is the best for this region, by which I mean constructing this cycle track, they ought to, I mean, open their eyes and ears to the bigger picture and come up with a sort of visionary solution to this issue. I mean, by which I mean accommodating all three proposals in some way. One way to do that is to build the cycle track on the side of the rail line or by using the service road, which is already available there. So that, I mean, the tourist train can use the rail line, and also the businessman willing to relocate his industry to this region can use the line for transporting his goods. So thank you for listening, and this stream, through this stream, I will update you further in coming months.